10, day 7, number 2, deals with the law of cosines. When we're dealing with the law of cosines, it's used the same way as the law of sines, where we're going to use it to find missing side lengths or angle measures. So the law of cosines looks like this. And in the law of cosines, whatever side length you start with, the opposite angle has to end this. The other two side lengths occur in the problem. So if this is our triangle, ABC, this is side A, this is side B, this is side C. In this particular problem, we have to have the angle and the side across from each other to use this formula. And then we also have to have the two included sides. The two sides that include the angle. So we have to have a side, 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 or a side angle side set up when we go through and do this. So I'm going to put a little note here to look for side, 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 or side angle side as one of your hints that you're going to be working with the law of cosines. So I'm going to actually have you flip a couple of pages here. I'd like to go over to not the next page, but the one after that. There's a few law of sine questions mixed in here, and I want to just do a pretty basic law of cosines question with you. So, oops, actually it's not that one. Let's keep going here. Question 6, here we go. Question 6, law of cosines question. So it tells you to use the law of cosines, but I think you might know to use the law of cosines anyway. If I take a look at what I have the angle and the side across from it, which happens to be what it is that I'm looking for. They have an L over here. And I have the two sides that make the angle the included angle. So I basically am given the side angle side situation, finding the L across from it. So when I go through and I set up the formula that I'm going to use, this is pretty similar to what we did with law of sines, where we're going to interchange the letters. So I know if angle L and side L are across from each other, that's what's going to start my equation. Side L squared equals, and then the other two sides that I have are m and n. So the rule is that I square both of them, add them, and then subtract 2 times mn, and it's multiplied by the cosine of angle L, which is across from the side L that started this equation. So I'm going to go through and substitute in what I know. I know L is the variable I'm looking for, but I have a 10 squared plus a 15 squared minus 2 times 15 times 10 times the cosine of 38. And everything that's on the right-hand side, you can technically type it in all at once in your calculator. I'm going to do it in parts, but you could type the whole thing in. And then from here, I'm going to type that in, and I get 561.4032261. Square root both sides, right, to get the L alone, is going to give me 23.693.94914, which will give me 23.7, rounded to the nearest 10. So kind of the same idea as law of sines, different formula, but the same idea as far as how we're using that. I'm going to have you flip your paper one more page and over to question 8. In question 8, we are not going to, well, I guess we could. Never mind. I was going to say we're not going to calculate the area of a triangle, but we might as well practice that. Question 8, again, is telling you to use the law of cosines. It will not always do that. So in this, I have a triangle called ABC. AC is 6. Remember, that's them telling you that B is 6. AB is 8. That really means C is 8. And angle A is 78. And I am being asked to find the length of BC. BC is really side A, so that's what I'm looking for. So my equation, A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine A. Plug in what I know. A squared equals 6 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 6 times 8 times the cosine of 78. Type that all into my calculator, and I get 80.04047768. Square root both sides, and I get that A is equal to 8.946534395. They are not telling me to round, so of course I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave that as my final answer to the first part, which we'll call A. And then I'm going to go ahead and do part B too, which is calculate the area. When I do area of this triangle, it's not a right triangle, so I have no choice but to go through and use my equation for the area of a triangle. That's the general equation. Here, though, we have angle A that we have the information about. So I have to rewrite this equation appropriately. This is going to be BC sine A. It's the angle included between the two sides. I'm going to put in my missing information. Type that in on my calculator. Solve here to the nearest 10th. Final answer. So included in the context of this, we were able to also talk about the area of a triangle one more time.